Hello and welcome. We are live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Narendra Modi will take oath as Prime Minister of India on June 9, says changes in the country clearly visible and 18th Lok Sabha will work for Amrit Kal. US President Joe Biden apologizes to Volodymyr Zelensky for congressional delays in Ukraine military aid, makes a sweeping pledge for democracy. European Union elections underway with voters in 27 nations casting ballots to shape the bloc's political direction for the next 5 years. And world number 1 Swiatek eyes 5th Grand Slam title will face Jasmine Paolini in Roland Garros title clash on Saturday. News in detail now. President of India Draupadi Murmu invited Narendra Modi to form the government for the third consecutive time after letters of support were submitted by leaders of the National Democratic Alliance parties as well as the BJP parliamentary party electing him as their leader. Swearing in for the third Modi government to take place on June 9 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. President feeds dahi chini or sweet curd to Prime Minister-elect Modi. You can see in the visuals in Indian culture, eating sweet curd is considered auspicious before undertaking important task or starting a new venture. And the National Democratic Alliance, which emerged victorious in India's general elections, unanimously elected Prime Minister Narendra Modi as its parliamentary committee leader, thus making him PM-elect for a third consecutive term. The Pre-Poll Alliance, with the BJP as its leading member, is poised to form the government with the backing of over 300 MPs, including independents and others. Here's a report of the NDA parliamentary committee meeting.
Celebrations erupted outside Samvidhan Sadan on June 7 after Narendra Modi was chosen as the leader of the NDA Parliamentary Committee. BJP workers danced with party flags and rejoiced to dhol beats, something Prime Minister Modi had himself referred to a short while earlier while describing India and the mother of democracy and condemning the opposition in the alliance for besmirching India's reputation globally.
मैं दुनिया में ढोल पीट रहा हूं कि हम मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी है और ये दुनिया में जाकर के बता रहे नहीं हमारे देश में तो डेमोक्रेसी ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि वो मोदी बैठ गया है, वो एक चाय बेचने वाला यहां पहुंच कैसे गया.
The BJP-led National Democratic Alliance has won a clear majority in the recently concluded general elections, and the members of the coalition expressed their unwavering support for Prime Minister Modi to lead a third consecutive term, a historic moment and one they felt was richly deserved.
We are having leader. That leader is Narendra Modi. Now, I proudly propose the name of Sri Narendra Modi ji on behalf of Telugu Desam Party for the post of Prime Minister of this great nation.
10 साल से ये प्रधानमंत्री हैं और फिर प्रधानमंत्री होने जा रहे हैं और इन्होंने पूरे देश की सेवा की. अब पूरा भरोसा है कि जो कुछ भी बचा है अगली बार ये सब पूरा कर देंगे.
आप ही में सर वो इच्छा शक्ति है जो गांव और शहर की दूरी को मिटा सकता है. आप ही में वो इच्छा शक्ति है जो अमीर और गरीबी के फासले को पार सकता है. आप ही में वो इच्छा शक्ति है सर जिसने ये लक्ष्य रखा कि 2047 तक भारत को हम लोग विकसित देश बनाएंगे और भारत को विकसित देश बनाने की ओर आप ही हम लोगों को लेकर चल सकते हैं.
Prime Minister Modi described the NDA as an unbreakable bond built on trust.
आप मुझे फिर से एक बार ये दायित्व देते हैं, इसका मतलब है कि हम दोनों के बीच हम आपस में विश्वास का सेतु इतना मजबूत है ये अटूट रिश्ता विश्वास की मजबूत धरातल पर है और ये सबसे बड़ी पूंजी होता है।
Prime Minister Modi underscored the significance of collective efforts by all elected representatives in propelling the nation forward, emphasizing that beyond mere majority, it is unanimity that drives progress in a democracy.
मैं आज देशवासियों को यहां से विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि आपने जिस प्रकार से हमें बहुमत देकर के सरकार चलाने का सौभाग्य दिया है, ये हम सबका दायित्व है कि हम सर्वमत का निरंतर प्रयास करेंगे और देश को आगे ले जाने के लिए हम कोई कोर कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
After the NDA meeting, its parliamentary committee leader and PM-elect for a third consecutive term, Prime Minister Modi called on elder statesmen of the party, Bharat Ratna L.K. Advani, Padma Vibhushan Murli Manohar Joshi and former President of India Ram Nath Kovind. Bureau Report, DD India.
And top South Asian leaders have been invited to the oath ceremony reflecting the government's neighbourhood first policy. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Nepal Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal have confirmed they will be attending the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Both Hasina and her Nepal counterpart Dahal had previously extended their greetings to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the performance of the NDA at the 18th Lok Sabha elections. Leaders of Maldives, Mauritius, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bhutan to touch down in India on Sunday for the swearing-in ceremony. And following incidents of drowning of students, the Indian Embassy in Russia issued an advisory on Friday urging them to be extremely careful while going to water bodies. The embassy urged Indian students in Russia to be extremely careful while going to beaches, rivers, lakes, ponds and other water bodies. Students are advised to take all necessary precautions and safety measures in this regard. An eminent media personality and Ramoji Group chairman Ramoji Rao died at 87 while undergoing treatment in Hyderabad. Tributes started pouring in. President of India Draupadi Murmu expressed condolences penned down on social media platform X. I quote, "With the demise of Sri Ramoji Rao, India has lost a titan of the media and entertainment sector. An innovative entrepreneur, he pioneered a number of ventures including the Innadu newspaper, ETV News Network and Ramoji Film City. Honoured with Padma Vibhushan, he succeeded as his vision was essentially rooted in society. His contributions to this industry will be long remembered. My condolences to his family and well-wishers." Unquote. And PM Modi condoled the demise of Ramoji Rao. He said the passing away of Ramoji Rao Garu is extremely saddening. He was a visionary who revolutionized Indian media. His rich contributions have left an indelible mark on journalism and the world of films. Through his noteworthy efforts, he set new standards for innovation and excellence in media and entertainment world. Ramoji Rao Garu was extremely passionate about India's development. I'm fortunate to have got several opportunities to interact with him and benefit from his wisdom. Condolences to his family, friends and countless admirers during this difficult time. Om Shanti. In Chhattisgarh, 7 Naxals were killed in an encounter in Narayanpur district. The gunfight took place in a forest near Gobal village in Ochra area, where a joint team of security personnel was out on an anti-Naxalite operation. 3 Jawans were also injured in the gun battle. And the India Met Department announced an increase in rainfall activity along the coast of Karnataka and Maharashtra starting June 8. Thunderstorm and rain with the maximum temperature of 35 degrees Celsius predicted for Tamil Nadu. IMD has issued a yellow alert for the state. And the Met Department has predicted a partly cloudy sky for Saturday with the chance of dust storms or thunderstorms accompanied by light rain. The Met Office has also issued a yellow alert for the national capital today. Temperatures are expected to range between 42 and 29 degrees Celsius for the maximum and minimum respectively. The city's weather is undergoing a shift caused by the influence of a fresh western disturbance. And flood situation in Assam has improved since past few days. A total of 195 villages and 16 revenue circles have been affected. 41 relief camps and 3 relief distribution centers have been set up to provide flood relief items to the affected people. NDRF and SDRF teams are carrying out rescue operations and providing relief items to the flood-affected people. And Indian Navy has unveiled Indian Naval Dynamic Resource for Weather Analysis Indra app, which provides near real-time weather updates, climate data and crucial oceanic insights to ensure Indian Navy stays informed and prepared, leveraging technology for smarter navigation. And US President Joe Biden on Friday for the first time publicly apologized to Ukraine for a month-long congressional hold-up in American military assistance that let Russia make gains on the battlefield. Biden has also announced a fresh $225 million tranche to Ukraine on the sidelines of D-Day events. The meeting was their first face-to-face encounter since Zelensky visited Washington in December, when the two pressed Republicans to overcome opposition in the party to more support for Ukraine.
The way you stood and holding on in Kharkiv, and you've proven once again the people of Ukraine cannot and will never be overtaken. And I assure you, the United States is going to stand with you. You've said that all during this debate. I continue to say it. The United States is standing with you.
And in response to Biden extending support, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stressed the importance of his country's relationship with the US, saying it was crucial in the fight against Russia.
It's very important that in this unity, United States, America, all American people stay with Ukraine, like it was during World War II, how the United States helped to save human lives, to save Europe, and we count on your continuing support and standing with us, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you so much. We need peace in Ukraine, but we will stay. Anyway, stay strong.
And Russia's President Vladimir Putin said on Friday that he was ready to engage in peace talks with Ukraine, but only if Moscow could get agreements that were in Russia's interest. Putin spoke at Russia's flagship annual economic forum in St. Petersburg on Friday. Listen in.
Of course, we need to achieve such agreements and such conditions that will comply with our interest and will be the most reliable. You are right that to settle agreements with such authorities is really hard.
And Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday during a plenary session at St. Petersburg International Economic Forum said that Russia does not supply long-range weapons to the countries which are under pressure from the West, but reserves a right to do so.
About us supplying weapons, we do not supply yet, not yet, but we reserve for ourselves that right to do so to those states or even some legal entities who are feeling certain pressure, including the one of military nature, from the countries which supply the weapons to Ukraine, and urge them to use it against us, against our Russian territory.
All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Danish PM attacked in central Copenhagen. Man has been arrested. Details after the break. Afghanistan register historic 84-run victory over New Zealand at Guyana in T20 World Cup. And the International Ocean Day, let us pledge to restore the health of the oceans.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts. We demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. The US and Israel have confirmed that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address a joint session of Congress on July 24th. The plan has already drawn criticism from progressive lawmakers, unhappy that Netanyahu will have the opportunity to defend the bombardment of Gaza. Nick Harper reports from Washington, D.C.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he was very moved at the opportunity to speak to US lawmakers. He was invited by the 4 congressional leaders to speak to the House of Representatives and the Senate in a joint session of Congress. He welcomed the invitation and said he plans to present the truth about Israel's offensive in Gaza. However, he also criticised those in Congress who he said were seeking to destroy Israel's image. The invitation has created a backlash from progressive lawmakers, in particular left-leaning Democrats who've been critical of the Biden administration's staunch support of Israel and the enormous loss of life of Palestinian civilians. The top Democrat in the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, has defended the decision to invite Netanyahu, saying that although he personally had clear and profound disagreements with the Prime Minister, America's relationship with Israel is ironclad and transcends one person or Prime Minister. President Biden has in recent weeks himself been more critical of Israel's tactics, strongly pushing Israel, without success, to reconsider its ground assault of Rafah. And the administration has also withheld weapons shipments, something that Republicans have criticized Biden for, urging the president to do more to help Israel against Hamas. Earlier this week, US media reported that Netanyahu would make the address later this month, only for the Israeli PM to say that was definitely not the case, as that date fell on a Jewish holiday. A meeting between Netanyahu and Biden during his visit has not yet been confirmed. Nick Harper in Washington, reporting for DD India.
And the polls are underway across the European Union, marking the beginning of what is expected to be a pivotal election, with far-right parties anticipated to secure significant gains, heightening the stakes in this continent-wide democratic exercise, which boasts over 370 million eligible voters spanning 27 member states.
The polls are underway across the European Union, marking the beginning of what is expected to be a pivotal election, with far-right parties anticipated to secure significant gains. With more than 370 million eligible voters spread across 27 member states, the stakes are high in this election. It's the 10th parliamentary election since the first direct elections back in 1979, and notably the first European Parliament election post-Brexit. The election, which runs from June 6th to June 9th, is coinciding with several other elections in various EU member states. Meanwhile, early indications suggest a surge in support for far-right parties. In the Netherlands, exit polls are indicating significant gains for Geert Wilders' anti-immigration party. Initial exit polls place his party as a close second to a coalition of left-wing parties. This marks a remarkable turnaround for Wilders, whose party failed to secure a seat in the previous EU election.
Well, I'm a very happy politician. I'm the leader of a party that is the greatest winner today. We went from 1 to 8 seats in parliament, with even a chance that we could become the biggest party and close to the Social Democrats and the Greens, who have 1 seat more in parliament. They have 8, we have 7. We went from 1 to 7.
While the far right in France sees this election as a crucial opportunity to undermine Macron's influence, and using this election as a platform to challenge President Emmanuel Macron's party.
Jusqu'à présent, il était inenvisageable que le Rassemblement.
This is a really spectacular rise for Rassemblement National. I mean, the fact that the Rassemblement National is leading in EU polls is not new. In the past 2 European elections, we have forgotten this, but the Rassemblement National already finished in first place. But then what's unique in this election, if the Institute's polls on voting trends are reflected in the ballots this Sunday, is that they could reach the symbolic score of 30%.
Dans lesquels il y avait une espèce de plafond de verre, je pense notamment aux électeurs de plus de 60 ans.
On the other hand, activists have taken to the streets, blocking the entrance to the EU Commission, calling for degrowth. This adds another layer of complexity to an already intense political landscape. With Bureau Inputs, Rabindra Chauhan's report for DD India.
Now, Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen walked away following an assault by a man in central Copenhagen on Friday without any outward signs of harm. The assault comes 2 days before Danes head to the polls in the EU election. 3 weeks ago, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico was seriously injured in an assassination attempt. The statement from Prime Minister's office said Mette Frederiksen was shocked by the incident. Police had arrested a man and were investigating the incident but declined to give further detail. An eyewitness saw the Prime Minister being escorted away by national and intelligence security personnel following the assault. And the number of people internally displaced in Sudan due to conflict could soon exceed 10 million, according to the United Nations Migration Agency. The UN agency recorded 9.9 million people internally displaced across Sudan this week. Prior to the war, there were already 2.8 million internally displaced people. In total, about 12 million people have been forced to flee their homes, with more than 2 million crossing into neighboring countries, including Egypt and Chad. UN agencies have warned that Sudan was at imminent risk of famine, with around 18 million people acutely hungry, including 3.6 million children who are acutely malnourished. Italy braced for the first major heat wave on Friday, fueled by the arrival of the first African anticyclone Scipion. The temperature surpasses 32 degrees Celsius as gusts of warm wind coming from North Africa lashes the region. Authorities states that May has been the warmest month ever recorded globally since the mid-19th century with record temperatures. Heavy rains trigger flash flooding in Australia. Emergency authorities carried rescue assistance from residents in Sydney. The weather authorities warned a major flooding could occur in the northwest of Sydney. Hundreds of people were rescued from floodwaters in eastern Australia. The Paintbrush Art Community, a collective of Indian diaspora artists, hosted a unique exhibition titled Retro Revival in UAE. This cross-cultural artistic endeavour brings together 22 artists from 8 countries to pay homage to iconic Paramount movies from Hollywood's golden era. The exhibition features 26 artworks spanning vibrant paintings that revisit beloved films like The Terminator, Titanic, The Godfather, Sleepy Hollow, Tomb Raider and Top Gun. Retro Revival goes beyond the silver screen with artistic depictions of iconic figures like Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. Sports now. Top-ranked Iga Swiatek will look to continue her dominance at Roland Garros when she faces 15th-ranked Jasmine Paolini in the 2024 French Open women's singles final on Saturday. Swiatek, who first held the top ranking in April 2022, is looking to win her 4th French Open and 3rd in a row. She is also closing in on her 5th Grand Slam title, having won US Open in 2022. An Afghanistan cricket team created history in the T20 World Cup when it thrashed New Zealand by a huge margin of 84 runs in Guyana in Group C match on Saturday. Chasing 160, New Zealand kept on losing wickets at regular intervals and got bundled out for just 76. Outstanding spells from skipper Rashid Khan with Farooqi were the key to Afghanistan victory. Both took 4 wickets of 17 runs. And New York's Nassau County will implement unprecedented security measures for the T20 World Cup clash between India and Pakistan on June 9. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blickman emphasized the county's coordinated security efforts with federal partners including the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. Watch this exclusive interview with DD India correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya.
Joining me is Nassau County Executive Bruce Blackman to talk about the security arrangements made here. Sir, it's been amazing tournament, and USA made it. They defeated Pakistan. Added incentive, isn't it? But the security arrangements are always been a paramount for you guys.
Yes. So anytime you have a world-class event like this, you have to do a lot of preparation and planning and training, and we've done that. We've been on this for 6 months. I want to compliment the fans. The fans are exuberant. They're excited. They are very loud. They let you know which team they're rooting for, but they're very respectful and very polite. We have had no issues, 0 issues, and we're halfway through the tournament, so we couldn't be more delighted.
Right. India-Pakistan, as we mentioned, it's always a high-profile event. Is there added pressure on you guys to make sure that there are no, untoward incidents that take place?
Well, we take everything very seriously, every threat, and we anticipated this would happen because it happens at every major world sporting event, and we'll be prepared. We have a small army here, and also throughout the county on that day, I have increased the number of police officers. You will see a very, very large police presence around the stadium, in the stadium, and around the county.
How excited is, the whole police force and the people of this place are? World T20, the first time a cricket World Cup happening here.
Well, this is a major sporting event. It's one of the largest sporting events in the world. And I think we're showing that Nassau County can do this. Nobody does it better than us. And I think this will be an opener not only for more cricket events, but I think other sporting events will look and see what we've been able to do in such a short period of time, and they'll want to come to Nassau County.
Much appreciated time. So that was the county executive saying that all the preparations have been made and they are absolutely ready for the big ticket event of India versus Pakistan. With campus, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for DD India from Nassau County.
And the world is celebrating Ocean Day. This day supports the implementation of worldwide sustainable development goals and fosters public interest in the protection of the ocean and the sustainable management of its resources. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.